eventful weekend in boxing. I'm just now getting a chance to recap. We got Jaron Boots Ennis, prodigal son, goes home back to Philly, does great numbers, put on a great show in front of 15,000 people. Jahlil Hackett, step up fight against Pete Dobson. Curmel Moton has his fourth professional fight against an 18 fight veteran. And the referee for the Tevin Farmer Raymar Tyler fight, Thomas Taylor, I want him to get every bit of the negative energy that was shown towards Harvey Dock after the Devin fight because I think we picking and choosing, but he definitely affected that Tevin Farmer fight the other night. We're gonna get into that. Matter of fact, we're gonna start off with that. Veteran fighter Tevin Farmer, um, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He now lives in Jersey. I want him to start claiming Jersey, but nah, he's from Philly. But I got to interview him last week. You guys saw it up. I got to watch him spar his last sparring session. Watched him work with three guys, look very sharp. Told him, I thought he would win the fight. And I think he was on his way towards winning the fight as I had predicted by unanimous decision. If not for Mr. Thomas Taylor. The first, I say I think 4 or 5 rounds, maybe even 6. He was boxing the hell out of Ray Tyler, beating him to the shot, dancing circles around him, defense on point. He was, to me, clearly winning the fight. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Thomas Taylor takes a point from him for holding. It ain't like the holding was excessive. You know what I mean? They would punch a little bit, both clinch. Both guys was clinching, but he chose to take a point, right away from Tevin Farmer, which completely changed the fight. And I'm going to tell you how it completely changed the fight, not just because he took the point. At the end of that round, you could hear him talking, Tevin, talking to him about holding and why he took the point. At the end of the minute break, that 10 seconds where the fighter stands up and waits for the bell to ring, he's in his ear again, Tevin, trying to explain. And, don't. What he's doing is getting in that fighter's head, breaking his concentration, which is what I think happened. I'm supposed to do an interview with Tev this week. Hopefully I get to do it. I want to hear how he feels about it. But I think that's a situation where the referee greatly affected that fight. You really never seen Tev get back to being in his bag after that point deduction and the ref kind of hounded him like that. He was never able to regain his rhythm, and I think it cost him the decision. Even though I think the cards were terrible because even without the point, they had Tev down 3-4 rounds. Like I think the scoring was terrible. You know, he's the older guy fighting the young, hot, up and coming guy. With top rank, Tev's not with a promoter right now. I get it, but I definitely want to put the spotlight on Thomas Taylor, though. YouTube community, give him that same energy y'all was giving Harvey Dock. Let's be fair. To me, he had a horrible night Saturday night. He cost Tevin Farmer the fight, and he should be held to those same ridicule that y'all held Harvey Dock to. All right. Then we have Jahlil Hackett. No, before we get to that, Curmel Moton gets his fourth victory. Second round stoppage over an 18 fight veteran and Nikolai Bazula. Can't say enough about this young man. I may be a little worried about how fast they're moving him, but he's knocked 3 out of 4 guys out. And in his last fight, only his third professional fight, he went the 8-round distance and dominated there. So, maybe they know something I don't know, you know what I mean? Because they are putting him in tough kind of early, especially for a young guy. It's not like he has that Olympic pedigree, although he does have a great amateur boxing background. They're moving him quick, but I haven't seen him in no tough fights, really. I've seen him hit more than I think I like to see him get hit, and I think even Floyd alluded to that. He can improve his defense, but he's been in pretty tough so far. He's moving right along, 4-3 in knockouts now, so shout out to Curmel Moton. Jahlil Hackett. I had guys in the gym that felt like Pete Dobson was going to be too much for Jahlil Hackett. They thought it was a little too soon. It was a big step. Even Eddie had asked him why would his team, decide to take that step in a co-main event against an experienced guy coming off a long layoff and only 8 professional fights. I think it was 7 before last night. Well, he showed y'all why. He basically pitched a shutout, put Pete Dobson on his back foot early in the fight. In that first round, I think established that he was going to be the boss, landed the harder, more meaningful punches, and I think showed Pete Dobson He's not the baby or the young guy that he thought he was. You know, they thought it was too soon. I will say though, something P. Dobson said in the build up in that last presser that kind of, you know, kind of struck a chord with me. And I hate to say this, Jahlil Hackett does have the look of a guy that's taken a lot of punishment already for, you know, a young guy. Could it just be his look? Maybe. But I hope that's not the case. I hope he doesn't turn out to be, and I'm not, no disrespect, this was a great fighter too. Another guy like David Reed that, you know, does achieve a lot of success, but as soon as he gets there, you know, it kind of goes away as quick as it comes because of all the, you know, the damage that was done prior to him getting there. So I hope, you know, the amount of damage that he's taking, I hope the way he looks is not because he's taking a whole lot of damage, and because I don't want to see that get in the way of, you know, his talent. He has a lot of talent. I think he's the real deal. But you know, he does have the look of a guy that's been fighting for a long time. But the grand finale, man. Jaron Boots Ennis. I think A+ performance. Got hit more than most people are used to seeing him get hit. But in comparison, I think, you know, shout out to Showbiz. I watched him earlier, put the stats up. Avanesyan only hit Boots 5 more times than he hit Terence Crawford. So pretty much, you know, defense was just as well as Terence Crawford was against him. Starched him around earlier, from what I understand. Broke a rib, broke a jaw, like completely beat this man up. And for those that think like even me, I don't think he had his best performance, even though I graded really high at A+. But I think we got to take into consideration biggest card he's ever had of his own. Like, he's headlined a huge card for the first time in his hometown, 15,000 fans, ain't fought in over a year, hasn't fought at home in 6 years, and ends up doing the biggest live audience in Philadelphia for a boxing match in 46 years. Come on, man. Hats off to that guy. Not only hats off to him, hats off to Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn, because I didn't know. I was one of those people that I didn't know if Philly boxing could do that. Like, I haven't seen it in a very long time. I didn't know if, matter of fact, in my life it hasn't happened because I'm 46. I've never seen Philly come out like that for a fighter. Even though it's a fight town, Philly has some of the best fighters in the world. I've never seen it. And it's evidence because that was the first fight in the Wells Fargo Center, which is the biggest arena, indoor arena in Philly. They never even hosted a fight. So that'll tell you, you know, they don't draw those type of crowds. So for him to do that in Philly, after a 6-year absence from Philly at home, star-studded event, first time he's headlining a big card like that, superstars in the building, you're the guy, you know what I mean? For all those things considered, I think he did phenomenal. Also, great job to legendary coach and his father, Mr. Bozy Ennis. I love Bozy because not only is he very talented, not only is he very well schooled in the game, a great motivator and a very good coach, I like the fact that Jaron Boots Ennis is now a superstar, and a lot of these trainers don't talk to superstars with honesty. That's his son, and he talks to him the same way now as somebody that's seen it up close and personal that he did when he was making his pro debut. He didn't have no problem telling him on national TV in front of everybody, son, you getting hit with dumb. And I mean, that's real, you know. You're more talented than, you know, way more talented than for this guy to be touching you like that, even though he was always in control the entire fight. I agree with Bozy. You know, he got hit with some solid shots that I don't think he should have been hit with. I'm pretty sure, you know, he saw him coming and has the athletic ability, the defense skill set to avoid him. But for whatever reason, did not. I think just a lapse in concentration. So I was glad his father actually said that to him between rounds, got him refocused. He came out and handled the business. But like I said, I still say A+. Broke that man ribs, broke his jaw, broke him down. I was watching the fight with my cousin, Darryl Keefe, and the middle of the last round, the middle of the 5th round, I turned to Darryl and I said, he's going to survive this round, but he ain't coming back out. And you can just see it. Not just the fact that he was losing, but he was getting beat up. And when you see guys getting beat up like that to the point he was by the end of that 5th round, once they sit down, it's hard to see them being able to relax and get that heat off of them for a minute and actually consciously deciding to go back out there and face that damn blitzkrieg again. And he did not. You know what I mean? I was right. Fifth round knockout for Jaron Boots Ennis. I think a stellar performance. For those of y'all saying because you think you saw something in this fight that he's not ready for Terence Crawford, I think that's baloney. If you look at the stats, he didn't get hit no more from this guy than Terence Crawford did. He destroyed him. I think he didn't knock him out the way Bud did, but he broke his ribs, broke his jaw. He broke him down. So I think, the beating was a little worse. So I don't think this is something we can look at and say this man's not ready. I think he's absolutely ready. I think he's a better fighter for that experience. And the next time you put him on that big stage, it's going to be, pretty much second nature to him. He won't be experiencing it for the first time. So hats off to you, Boots. Hats off to Bozy. Much love to Philly. Y'all have a bona fide superstar on your hands. Those of us who had an opportunity to see him come up and develop, most of us already thought or already knew he was special. But now the world knows. And like I said, I'm so glad that Philly celebrated him the way they did on Saturday night. And I just hope it continues. That's all I have, y'all, right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.